Hey, welcome back to Don't Run with Scissors. I am Kelly, your favorite Jeep driving lawyer, mom of twins, 4 crazy rescue dogs, and a rescue cat who likes to craft in her spare time. Everything else is a bonus. And really, crafting in spare time is a bonus. If you're new here, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. It sends me a message, it boosts my serotonin and my self esteem, and I could use both. And if you're a returning friend, you already know the crazy you're in for. So go ahead and grab your drink, sit on back, and let's have at it. So to recap, recap, recap last week, which really was a crap week. Um, Saturday went to a memorial service for a dear friend of mine who unexpectedly passed away. Um, just totally. So yeah, um, and that was kind of yeah, yeah. Um, been in and out of court and the office and trying to get work done, and I've just come to the conclusion that I'm probably never going to catch up in general. It's just not going to happen. I will never have a Pinterest house as much as I would like to. Um, at this point, I'm just hoping for a house that like CPS wouldn't come, or in my case, I have adult children, so adult protective services wouldn't come in and condemn because the amount of help that I get is virtually non-existent. So, and the help that I get involves a lot of me getting mad and angry, and I just don't have the energy to try to maintain 60 plus hours at the office. Essentially is what it's coming down to, and driving people around to all of their things, and um, yeah. So there you have it. I can't do it. I I am throwing in the towel, and um, no, let's be honest. For those of you who know me well enough, know that I can throw in the towel today, and I will wake up tomorrow in a better place mentally, and I'll pick up the towel and I'll use it to wipe my forehead, and I'll buckle down to work, and I'll get the shit done. It may take me more than just tomorrow, I'll be honest. But the level of frustration. I did try a new approach to the whole house cleaning thing. I have checklist that I keep on notes, and I have invited both kids to the Google Notes. Bean is on it, and that has helped her. When I say, "Hey, pick a room and clean it," um, or whatever, that seems to help. For some reason, though, the boy child can't figure out how to get on it. And
it's not that I can't figure out how to get on, it's that I don't have space for it on my phone.
oh, now that we don't have space, even though I have, yeah. So something on his phone has got to give. I don't know what he's hoarding on his phone. um, but he could also access it on his laptop, and apparently we're not doing that either. So, um, Nashville Needlework Market is now over. Um, apparently I ordered something, which thank God I would have ordered it, but I didn't think I ordered it. But so apparently when it comes in, you'll see what I ordered. I did mention to Kim a couple things that I was hoping, if she picked them up or that I wanted, great. If she didn't, that's fine too because I didn't send her money, and so, but I will send her money if she picked them up. But if she didn't, whatever, I can order. Like there were a couple little ones that I wanted, and if I got them right away, I would stitch them. Like I would add them into the rotation kind of thing. One was the Plum Street Stampler Mini Weenies. I would just add those into Wiener Dog Wednesday, um, or Wiener Wednesday. And then I wanted Our Town, the Bethlehem, any Our Town, Any Town, Little Town by Heart and Hand, maybe. And then it had the little extra pattern that was like the Three Kings. So I wanted that one. And then, okay, if you want to know my whip list, go watch the Snitch Stitcher's last video. Her pre-market and the patterns that she shows that some of her friends want. That's my wish list. That was my wish list. I love that. So yeah. So I have no haul. I picked up a couple DMCs that I needed because I'd run out of floss for Buffet Mat, a couple of flosses for Buffet Mat. Um, so I picked those up at Michael's. My Joann's is basically cleared out of anything cross stitch related. And then I found the fabric that I do want to use for one of my blazers, but I couldn't get anybody at Michael's to cut the fabric. So what point was it? I mean, I guess I could have cut it myself, but that would have been really weird. I don't know what their system is for telling you how much yardage you bought. So yeah, I don't know. So let's talk about what I got done as far as stitching. I will tell you that Survivor is kicking my booty. Between that and just still not, I have a new theory about why I'm still not totally feeling better. My voice is still not 100%. I go back to the ENT soon. I gotta look. I go to pain management tomorrow. Um, I have a feeling I kind of know what it is, but then it's the question of how do I treat it. I do know in part it is the food that I am eating. I need to go back to eating more fruits and veggies, don't we all? And going back to gluten free. I know that it's killing me. I know that, um, yeah, I have started back. We're on day 4 or 5 of our biking, restarting the biking streak. Um, Although you can't, I don't really call it a streak until I hit like day 21. I don't know, if like 3 weeks starts a streak. I don't know. I'm sure there's some official date, but usually that. So I'm on day 5 in a row, maybe day 4. So yeah, I have a feeling. So yeah, I have a feeling that part of why I'm still feeling so cruddy is all of the weather. In the gray skies here in Michigan. I definitely am one of these people who needs lots of sunlight, um, and runs kind of low on vitamin D. I take a supplement. I don't think it's enough. Um, I also get a B12 shot. I don't think it's enough. Um, so my GI doctor the other day suggested a few supplements to help with my gut. I do need to order those. We'll see. It's been a lot. So, um, mostly what I've been stitching on is Survivor stitching. I will tell you that them running at the same time and not being able to double dip main pieces is has been a struggle to keep up. Um, Not so much on like modern folk embroidery because it's 2 main colors, so you're not doing a lot of stitching. But Buffet Mat is killing me because it's a lot of confetti, so it takes a long time for me to get those stitches in. Um, but you'll see that we are making some really great progress. So as of going into last night's episode, I'm behind on Buffet Mat, which is Team Braun. And then I still need to do my Jeep Van Gogh bonus stitching from the other week. And then I need a few more stitches on my idle piece for US Survivor. But then we had an episode last night. We'll have an episode tonight, and we'll have an episode tomorrow night of Australian Survivor, which will then put me again way far behind. But I think we're getting closer to individuals. So we'll see. Okay. So first up is my idle piece for Australian Survivor, and that's He Tends His Flock by Tranquility Cross Stitch Design. Maybe. And it's this piece, and I am stitching that for one of my mentors. I am stitching it on a 32 count linen from Atomic Ranch in Blush. It's not my favorite fabric to stitch on. I have several pieces of Atomic Ranch fabric, and in general, I love that. I love their fabric. This one, not so much. I don't know, but hello. I have to put in the little sheepy here, and the flowers, the 3 flowers. But all of the green grass there is done. So as of right now, as of last night's episode, this is current, stitch-wise. And I don't want to give any giveaways, spoilers, if you are playing Survivor, as to what happened last night. But let's suffice it to say, I have more stitches to put in on this one. I did not stitch my my stocking today. And I did not stitch Wiener Wednesday this week. Because life. Okay. My team brain for Australian Survivor piece is Modern Folk Embroidery Modern Folk Embroidery Fruits of Plenty, Sal. We are now nearing, I think, 70% done. So I worked my stitches in here. Now, up until episode 10, which aired last night, this piece was current. This piece is really easy to get bulk stitching in. And again, at the rate we're going to be pretty near a finish by the time, because I'll still assign it to individual stitch. When we go individual on both American and Australian Survivor, it will have a player. On both episodes. That's not the right word. What's the right word? I don't know, but you know what I mean. Okay. So then my Team Brawn piece is Buffet Map by Unconventional Cross Stitch. And as of last night, y'all, I'm still 1,081 stitches behind, and that doesn't even include any that are happening like now. But I feel like I've put in a boatload and a half of stitches. So this is where it's at right now. I did get the second page finished, so that's exciting. At the rate I'm going, I'll have at least 3 pages finished. But there's no easy way to get in the stitches. There's no area where you're like, oh my god, at least there's a bunch of 310 I can throw in right now. We got nothing like that. But it is exciting to see get done, and it is very cool to watch it sort of get done. So that's cool. Okay. So then that leads us over to normally Wiener Dog Wednesday, but I didn't even work on Wiener Dog Wednesday. And then we go into American Survivor. And for the purple team, other than my 3 main teams on American Survivor are all current on their stitching. So if I don't get to all my idle stitching, which I will, you guys know me, even if I'm gonna, there will be a week where I'm sure something will happen, at least for American Survivor. Even if I'm behind the season and the season ends, I'll still finish up my stitching. That's just the way I roll. Okay. So, Team Purple on American Survivor is Lady Justice. And this is where we are now. Oh, I still love it. I am stitching this on 32 count Heroic by Picture This Plus. She's so pretty. I actually have a second piece of Heroic where when Lady Justice is done, I will likely start Lady of the Flag on it. And then I'll have to order 2 more pieces to do Queen of Freedom and Queen of Peace. And I am likely going to stitch, there's almost like a teal color conversion for Lady of the Flag. That is, so it looks like she actually looks out in the water, because she's patinaed. And is it copper? She's copper. And when you patina, it turns that like green. And that's the color I want her to be. I know she's technically not the Statue of Liberty, but in my head she is in some ways. So I am doing the Kreinik as I go along. I'm not doing the beading as I go along. So I've got the clearly I'm doing a color conversion on her. So I have been working mostly the loop here. I did a little bit down on here. Well, saying that now makes sense, doesn't it? So, she's gorgeous. She's so pretty. She's going to be so pretty hanging in my office. And I do believe my budget doesn't, I'm not allocating a whole lot for finishing as far as professional finishing. I have a few pieces. My modern folk embroidery, I will probably, just because of the size, even if I could find somebody who's much better experienced at pinning or lacing, I could pop it into a frame myself like that. I don't have a problem with. And because I don't know where I want it to hang, it's like it's kind of a cool piece, but it's like I don't know where I'm going to put it. Now that said, I have at least one friend who would be like, "You could send it to me. Like I'll take it. I'll take it in my house." So who knows? But I do love it, and the more I work on it, the more I love it. Pandemic would fit on my beach themed wall just because of the colors. And once I finish Modern Folk Embroidery, Pandemic will take its place in my game stitching. Anyways, but my 4 queens, well, the 2 queens, the lady and the 2 ladies, um, because I want them all, I want them to hang in my office on the same wall as my degrees and bar admissions. So I likely, I think that's one of, these are pieces that I'm going to, I was thinking I'd get them done as I, like, have them framed as I get them done, but then I'm worried that the framing will all be, I'm weird like that. It's really bothering me that the framing that I'm going to do on some of my bar admissions is going to be different than what the other ones are. So I gotta get over myself and I gotta just get it done. So I don't know what I'm gonna do there. Okay, next up is Orange for American Survivor. I know I should know their real name, like their team names, but they're weird names and I don't remember them, and so I just remember their buff colors, and I'm sorry if that bothers you. But I got too much going on to worry about that kind of stuff. Because one's like Kava, one's Lavo. I don't know. I just go by the buff colors. And so Team Orange, I have paired it with the Birdies Crossing Self-Love Sampler. Now the Self-Love Sampler has been affectionately renamed the Damn I'm Beautiful Sampler. And I love that. I love that. So I am current on this as of this week. And I think I'm pretty close to 25%, if I'm not at 25%. So again, I finished there. It's hard to see the white in here. Oh, there we go. Okay. So the white, I finished this bird. Did I finish it? Looks kind of funky. Oh, you know why? Because I did this bird with 2 strands and this bird with 1. And I'm okay with that. I'm not going to pluck anything out or do anything. And then I finished the 3 words, worthy and queen. So I will start focusing more on this side, which is kind of a mirror of this side. Now the sampler itself is charted all in one color. She charts it all in 310. So clearly I have gone off the hinges on that, and you know, I don't follow the rules real well. Okay. So next up is Team Green. Team Green for me is my Wizard of Oz menagerie. Okay. Wizard of Oz is also Janet got picked for Whip Go. And this is the piece that she would like me to focus on, given her love of all things Oz and Aussie. And I love that. So, we're getting some extra love in, which I love. So, again, we're current on American Survivor for this, and so I worked on the little lion up here. He is from Brooks Books. I think we figured it out. It's a 36 count. So the Brooks Books characters, I'm doing 1/1, and this main part down here, that is by Tiki something on Etsy. If you want it, I'll just let me know and I'll look it up. This was all done 2/2. So I've got the lion. His feet are in. I'm starting this week when I work on him, depending on what Team Green does. I'll work out the rest of his chest, and then I get to start his head. It's very exciting. But I put in, you can hardly tell, can't tell at all really. I backstitched the lines for the balloon, and then I put the center of the poppy in with all the little French knots, and I gave the dog his little ears. So that's exciting. So we are starting. I did decide for the little poppies in the green here, I'm actually going to pull out some of my red beads, my little red shiny beads. Because it's that or French knots, and I'm not doing that many damn French knots. Plus, then they wouldn't be sparkly. And we all need a little bit of extra sparkle in our lives. So it is called So the centerpiece I'm doing is called Book Wizard of Oz, and it's by Atomic Tiki Pins on Etsy. Okay. So then lastly, my idol piece for American Survivor is the Courage Salve. I started this at StitchCon, was it last year? Or the year before? I think the year before. And I've been slowly plugging away at it. So my main color is, well, the green is Pickles by Forbidden Fiber Co., which is it's this great, this is stitched on an atomic wrench, and I love it. And then Threadworks 11383 is my blue. And then I've popped in a couple other DMC colors to represent me. So I am putting in I'm switching out the initials for friends of mine who also have like intracranial hypertension, which is the condition that led me to have 10 brain surgeries. And stuff. So I absolutely love it. I have still a little bit to catch up on that, and then I still need to pull out Jeep Van Gogh. And then my other piece for Whipco that I need to work on. So my two people that got pulled this month were Daphne and Janet. And Daphne gave me the challenge of eating lunch 5 days in a row at a normal time. I'm still working on that. I have not hit 5 days in a row. It's sad, I know. And then to put in 500 or 5 days worth of stitches into the periodic table. So I need to pull that out. And then Janet's was to do something to treat myself. Be it buy new shoes, be it whatever. Go get a massage, but something along that lines. And then to put in extra stitches on Oz. I did buy myself new work shoes because I was down to the fact that the dogs ate all my work shoes, all my black flats. So I did buy new black flats. And I've actually worn them a couple times now. So I'm going to consider that part of the challenge done for Janet. And I still would like to, excuse me, I have hiccups, get more stitching in on Oz. I'd like to really get the lion done. And depending on what Team Green does and everything else, that's a distinct possibility. So yeah. And depending on doctor's appointments. That's a distinct possibility. Alma is at the garage getting new ball joints. That's the other part of the thing that I'm considering challenge accepted from Janet, was to do that. Because it does take a lot of coordinating of schedules and stuff to be able to not have the car. I don't have a backup car. It's just me. It's not like the kids have a car yet. They don't drive. Why do they? So I was able to kind of coordinate some things so that I have at least a car tomorrow to run some errands, drop off documents to the courts and stuff. But yeah, so to coordinate everything was that was a lot of effort. So that's kind of where we're at. I have a lot of things that I need to scan, and I have to do it, like, it's page by page, so it just takes me forever, and I hate doing it. I hate doing it. But as much as, like, I sound like I'm whining a lot, and I don't want to make it sound like I'm miserable. I'm not. I'm not. Um, I am very grateful for much in my life and things. Um, what I also realize is that, and I want to encourage other people too, is you're not a burden. And you're not a burden for asking for help or an extra hand or whatever. Um, like I'm really struggling with the kids and getting them to step up to the plate. And Bean is better at it than the boy, but, you know, I can't keep doing it all. I am. I should be feeling better by now. Um, it was January 3rd or January 5th that I got sick. And to still be as sick as I am and still needing naps and things like that, I can't keep going at the rate I'm going. Um, and so that means somebody's gonna have to either move out or something. I don't know. But I like, this is ridiculous. The fact that the dishes aren't done, which makes it really hard to cook dinner because the dishes aren't done. Um, yeah. So we'll see how I have checklists for each of the rooms on the Good Notes app. William can't access that on his phone because he's got too much other stuff on his phone. Um, although he could very easily pull it up on his laptop. Bean did when she cleaned the bathroom today, and she got everything off the list done. So that's good. And yeah, but um, just so everybody knows, and this is a discussion. I guess it's been an interesting discussion. I got an invoice for weekend A for StitchCon, and it was one of those where I had decided I wasn't going to do weekend B. None of my friends were going. So, like, and I'm like, I've done it 3 years in a row. It's really expensive for just a seat in a hotel room. And so I was like, I'm not going to go unless I go. I told myself, the only way I would consider it is if it was weekend A, because weekend A is a very different energy than weekend B, from my understanding. But it comes down to, there's a bigger picture of things that I want out of life. And the people that I would want to see at weekend A, I think would be more fun to just schedule a weekend away at like an Airbnb in their area and just go, you want it, like, and travel and go, hey, you want to just meet for lunch? Kind of thing, or whatever. Um, and so I had a great talk the other day on the phone. I think it was yesterday, actually. Was it yesterday or Friday? With Janet. She called me because I was like, hey, are you going on weekend A, kind of thing, like, blah, blah, blah. And it reaffirmed my gut feeling on the whole matter. And so I am electing to not go to StitchCon weekend A, or B for that matter, to not go to StitchCon this next year. I may be looking at, in 2026, going someplace, but maybe it would be a totally different, maybe going down and seeing the girlies in Texas and going to one of their retreats. Um, you know, it may be going to saying, hey, who wants to go to Stitch West? And all of us signing up for Stitch West. It may be I pick a weekend and just throw a dart at a map and go, okay, I'm flying in here. Who's going to be there? Kind of thing. The other thing is I really want to get back into racing. And with racing comes expenses. Racing, triathlons are not cheap. And so, in keeping in line with bigger goals, that means giving up some things and readjusting budgets and figuring out other ways to meet that. Hey, I want to get together with Stitchy friends, but paying $250 to just sit in a room for a chair in a room doesn't make the most financial sense in my world right now. I also have my group that, we do Tuesdays and Thursdays online. And I'm always up for a good Zoom. I mean, like, look, if you got a Zoom and we're going to stitch, and you're going to stitch and you just want to get together and laugh, that may be good. Lindy Stitches does some great ones, some great retreats that are pretty big. Big as in there's a lot of people, and it's all virtual. And that's not I get it, virtual is not the same as being in person, but maybe also I need to step out of my comfort zone and get past kind of some of the anxiety. And, I have a couple stitchy groups that that meet, within a 30-40 minute drive from here once a week or once a month that I could go to. So, yeah. So I may be doing some of that. And so, yeah. Just the other thing is Lent started, and I'm not a person. I was raised very, very Roman Catholic, very strict Roman Catholic actually. But as an adult, I have never been one who gives up something for Lent. I look for something intentional to do, whether that's learning something that I've wanted to learn, whether that's taking on a project that I've let linger. And so I kind of was like, well, maybe I'll do 40 days of hip and back strengthening exercises, and be very diligent and mindful about that, which would certainly benefit my body. But in light of Courtney's passing and some other things, and Courtney and I were great as we were one of those who kept saying we need to just get together and have lunch, or let's get together for coffee, or they had just bought their dream home not long ago, and she's like, why don't you come out here and go out on the boat? We'll go out on the water. And we were just always so busy that we put it off and we put it off. And so a friend of mine suggested doing 40 days of intentional reconnecting with friends. And so I have taken that on. Does that mean, and all that means is that, I'm deliberately, I've sent out a couple of messages to friends, that I hadn't talked to in a little bit, just not because I don't want to, just because we're both so busy that it's been very difficult. And my best friend in the world, she's got little ones, her kids are little, they're still in elementary school, so it's like she's running to soccer games and this and that, and she lives on the other side of the state. I'm like, okay, so I have been, am I one for one every day? No, I'm not. But I am, again, making it sending a note, sending an email message to somebody. It's picking up the phone. It's sending the text that says, Are you okay? What's going on? And so yeah, so that's been really good. Um, it's also stepping a little bit out of my comfort zone in saying, yes, you know what, I'll show up. Um, I'll get over my social anxiety. I have huge, like, if I don't know a lot of people, like several people who are going, I really don't like going places that I don't, like, the anxiety is overwhelming at times. And it's, so it's saying, you know what, I'm going to show up. I'm going to do this thing. It scares the hell out of me. Like, I don't have to stay forever. Um, but at least giving it a go. Um, so yeah, it's that's what I'm doing for Lent. So I don't know if anybody else is doing anything special for Lent. I'd love to hear your ideas of what you're doing. Um, I can't do fish Fridays because I got a whitefish allergy now as an adult. It sucks. Like, I miss being able to go to fish fries, honestly. Like, that was always fun. Um, so we did get punchkis. They were delicious and yummy. Um, so yeah, that's kind of where we're at. I bought they're the little Polish ornaments. They're supposed to, well, they're supposed to look like the Polish ornaments. They're so cute. By Yasmin, Made with Love. Patterns a while ago, and I may dig those out and do those as my big extra stitch. My poor ficus is bare, except for my ass hat ornament, and then I have an I Love You macrame. It's the I Love You hand that was made by a deaf-blind gentleman. Which reminds me, I need to send Jessica, I still have your box that I need to send you, girlfriend. Um, so yeah. Um, so we'll see. I don't know. But I want you to remember that you are smart. You are beautiful. You are cherished. You are strong. You are loved. You are needed. You are wanted. And mostly, you matter. So, if you need me, please, 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 please reach out to me on Instagram at His Princess Kelly. Drop me a message down below. Contact me on Facebook. I'm pretty easy to find, I think. So, and I will see what I can do. So, with that, I'm sending you all my love, and I will see you next week. Actually, I will see you in a couple days with the Australian Survivor recap of the last 3 days. Thanks. And hopefully one day I will get it caught up. Bye, y'all.